Well, there's been an online publication attributed to JoyNews and Multi-TV where myself, I'm said to have conducted an interview encouraging viewers to invest in Bitcoin. That article titled Multi-TV JoyNews gives Tiandwa "This is crazy. Kojo Antwi's financial interview would make Ghanaians rich" is aggregated from a marketing fraud website. Today, we'll be discussing cyber fraud and how you can identify how they do their job or how they do their work to scam you, to steal from you. I have someone in the studio, Joseph Kwe. He's a cyber analyst from E-Crime Bureau. He'll help us understand how these fraudsters play their game. But before I get into that, Mr. Kwe, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Let me just explain to you or indicate to you that that interview never happened. This interview has never happened here on JoyNews. The last time I interviewed Kojo Antwi here on The Pulse was 2017, and we were talking about love, nothing about Bitcoin. That is a scam. They're using it to steal your money. But I am not an expert in that. I do have the expert here who can help us understand this. So, Mr. Kwe, you're welcome. I believe that you've seen the story yourself.
I have.
What are your general or initial assessment?
Well, I think one word I'll use to describe it is opportunistic.
Okay.
The way the whole thing was set up, they took advantage of a situation that was already there.
Okay. Which situation
so
was this?
In this situation, what I mean by that is, you know, we have a lot of websites in Ghana from news media agencies and several bodies.
Yeah.
But you see, no one really checks the digital space.
Okay.
So there are so many websites and legitimate companies that have, like, what do I say, duplicates of them online.
Okay.
Right? And the different names or sometimes similar names. So if I were to say a company that is called maybe GhanaBrokers.com, someone has probably gone to register Ghana Brokers and then has added another S.
Okay.
And has populated the website with the same content as the legitimate one.
Okay.
Good. So because no one checks the digital space for some of these things, I think that's the opportunity that the criminals saw as a chance to, you know, perpetrate this particular kind of activity.
Okay. So when so the first time I saw the story, I saw it on Ghana Web.
Yes.
And the Ghana Web credited the story to Graphic Online.
Yes.
So these are two credible institutions. But what you see now is a screenshot that I took from my computer. Now, if you look at this, it says Graphic Online. How is it possible that they'll be able to clone, if you like, something that looks like Graphic Online?
But it isn't.
Yes, it isn't.
Yes, good. So Ghana Web, from the story, I mean, Ghana Web picked up this non-existent interview from JoyNews from what they thought to be Graphic Online, only to go and find out that, you know, it only looked like Graphic Online in terms of everything looked like the same, the red banner and everything.
Yeah.
But you know, if you do website designing, right, you realize that these things are very easy. It's like designing any page.
So anybody can create
anyone.
This Graphic Online looking website,
right,
and just put something on it.
From A to Z, every single thing, the dots, every single thing. So that's what they did. And the site that was doing that was a website that I think the name is, I think it's Patagonia Speed. It's some weird. It has
and when you click it right now,
it doesn't exist.
It's gone off.
Because I think because of JoyNews and I believe the actions you've taken to try and arrest the situation, I believe the scam people have figured out. So this is typical criminal behavior. Okay. They are taking the site off and probably going to re-strategize for later.
Okay, which they have done, it seems, because there is another, or there are other websites I have seen, and I want to find some of those websites.
Okay, sure.
I think this one, if you could just go through the name again, the previous one.
The previous one's name is Patagonia Speed World.com.
It doesn't even make sense. It's what? Patagonia Speed?
Yeah, PatagoniaSpeedWorld.com. That's
okay.
The name.
So this is the first website where Ghana Web picked up the story from.
No. Oh yes, this is where Ghana Web picked up the story from, thinking it was Graphic Online.
It was Graphic Online.
Yes.
So they picked it up from here, thinking it was Graphic Online. They published it without verifying. So Ghana Web subsequently retracts that story and then apologizes. So if you click on this particular website, you don't see anything at the moment.
Yes,
but there is still other links. There are still other links that are going around on Facebook. Yesterday, I think I saw one of them. I'm just going to try and track them out. But today is my birthday, so I've received quite a number of messages.
Okay, happy birthday.
But I should still find that that link. That looks like another website.
It is on several websites. There's the Independent Ghana.
So what's that again? The IndependenceGhana.com.
Yes. And
IndependenceGhana.com.
Yes. And the reason why it happens, if I can explain,
yes,
the reason why it happens is in the digital space, at least when it comes to the media, someone will paste the main story, and the rest of the media houses or the media people's own generated media website, they only aggregate the content.
Yeah.
So they will just pull the content and serve it on their own page, and sometimes credit where they took it from.
Okay.
So I suspect that is what is happening now. Even though the main culprit is down, the people who copied the information are still sending their information around.
The ones that they've copied already.
The one, yes. That's why they say the internet never forgets. Because if you put something there, people make copies of it. And by the time you take off the original, the copies are still remaining and they're still doing the harm in one way or the other.
Okay. Yes. In cases like this, how do you... Okay, I want to actually look at the content. Let's look at the content that they are sending around. It's supposed to be, it's a purported Bitcoin something.
Yes.
How do you understand this Bitcoin scam that's contained in this publication?
Sure. I think Bitcoin as a business and how it works, you know, this is why I also call it an opportunistic scam.
Yeah.
Bitcoin and how it works, a lot of people don't understand it. They feel that it is shrouded in a lot of mystery.
Okay.
So right now, people are only building a lot of scams and calling it Bitcoin. Okay. So they basically want to do the same robbing Peter to pay Paul business, but they will say that it's a Bitcoin business. At the end of the day, it boils down to bring some money, we'll double it for you.
Yeah.
And the reason why we are doubling it is because Bitcoin is profitable. But if you look down to the details, it has nothing to do with Bitcoin. Yeah. They just slap the Bitcoin name on it because it's easy to dupe people through Bitcoin. Yes, because they don't understand it. All they know is that they see on the news, and one time Bitcoin's prices seem to be rocketing. So because of that, then they decide, okay, you know what, we are just going to build scams and call it Bitcoin related scams. People won't ask us questions. They don't want to. Even if you try to explain what is this Bitcoin and blockchain, what are you talking about, they don't want to know. So that is, I think, what they are doing here.
Okay.
Yes.
If you go on and you read the story, it has this link there that anytime it mentions Bitcoin, it is a link that's encouraging you to click on it. Yes. When you click on it, it leads you to a site where you can then, it's asking you to make an investment, an initial amount of $250.
You'll get
what is this? What is the process? What goes through that? And will you be able to put in money?
Okay, so with respect to that, right, I don't want to mention that the website they are referring you to, the name. I don't want your viewers to go and check it out.
Great. That's
but it's this website, Bitcoin System something, and basically when you go there, then the offer is simple. Okay, give us money. Okay, from $200 and upwards. Yeah. If you give us the money, we promise to double it in about a day. So 200 becomes 400 and something at the end of the day. That's it. How do you pay? Well, you can pay through virtual currency, which is the same Bitcoin that they are advertising, or you can pay through like your card and all of these things. As all of these, of course, obviously, as avenues to harvest people's information and all of that. But that is how the website works. Yes.
And when you pay that money, will you be able to track or trace to whom you pay that money if you did the payment online?
So they say that you should be able to do that, but when I checked on the reviews of people who have used the site, they were all saying that their money never came back. They promised that they would get access to a dashboard that they could track their nothing of that happened. And what is confusing is that the same users of this same website, right? I mean, the creators of this website seem to have hired people to recommend the site and make it seem like
and so you see people when they share the link, I see people write, oh, I just tried it and it worked.
Yes, it's them. They are the same people behind it, and they are encouraging people to, because they know you go and Google it and try and learn about it. So if you see the reviews and you see that, oh, okay, so it seems people are it's a legitimate, and then you fall victim to it as well.
Okay, so then now let me come to, after I finished dealing with the content. So essentially the content is to lead you to a site where they will ask you to put in some details. At the end of the day, they are stealing your details, and apart from stealing your details, they're going to, if you should pay that money, it will never come back to you. So don't get scammed with this system.
They were saying Kojo Antwi was recommending this.
Yeah, so they're actually saying, if you read this story, they're saying that Kojo Antwi did it on this show, yes. And after he did it, it worked. After a few hours, he got some money. Kojo Antwi mentioned that he's gotten some money over a period of time, and then he asked me to try it, and then I tried it, and after a few hours, I made some money. That never happened.
It didn't. But what I find even fascinating is their wedding and what they chose to say. They said that Kojo Antwi, you gave the opportunity. They said you gave the opportunity for Kojo Antwi to speak to the government.
Yes.
And Kojo Antwi said that he has no words for the government because they've disappointed them.
Yes.
And because of that, he has created his own platform, which is this Bitcoin platform.
To help people make money.
But you see, this is what I mean by the opportunistic nature.
Yeah.
Because they sense that these criminals
they know that, yeah, people don't have, I mean, people have raised concerns about there's this concern about, you know, economic difficulties for people, etc.
So
and
they
so they
find
play
it's
on
the
it.
best opportunity to slide themselves into this. People won't verify. If you look at the Facebook comments, because they didn't just market on only the website. And
they're actually from sponsored sites on Facebook. Yes. No. We'll talk about what you can do when you see these things on Facebook. But let's listen to, since we've mentioned Kojo Antwi. Kojo Antwi himself has been very upset about this. He's been commenting. Listen.
It's been circulating on social media. My team, my management, we came out with a disclaimer because no such interview ever took place. And everyone knows that if I speak to anybody, it will be about entertainment. Yes, once in a while you drift off to talk about coronavirus and all that, but everything I do is centered on music. So there has never been an interview on Bitcoin. And that I had, no, nothing like that happened. I believe there are some scammers who are trying to. So people should disregard that information circulating on social media, Facebook and all those other platforms. It never happened. I have never granted any interview. I've never said anything about Bitcoin, and I don't know anything about Bitcoin. Yeah, I will not encourage that because, it's just fake news.
It's just fake news, very distressing fake news. And I don't know anything about Bitcoin. I've never done anything about Bitcoin. So let's come back to you. You heard Kojo Antwi say this is circulating on social media. How do you, I find myself as a victim to this fake news. How do you control the share or the spread of these links? Is it possible?
Okay, so I think with regards to that, that is for people like you who are content creators and journalists. How do you control the things that are attributed to you that are not you don't have? I think this interview with Kojo Antwi is one of the best illustration of that. You go to the source, you understand. You get to the source and let them clarify their position on what it is that is going on. But you see, in order to do that, you need to know what is going around. And that is why we also, I will recommend, or from my company's perspective, we recommend that companies need to, in this modern world, have a digital presence everywhere. It doesn't matter whether as a policy, you don't think you know how to Twitter or you don't know how to use Instagram. You need to be there. Because when these stories hit, these are the places they are distributed through. So the moment you see them, then you need to address them. That is where the sources come into play. So now the source can say that, hey, that is going around. We are not the ones behind it. And it is you are able to arrest it before it becomes viral. So I think that is one of the best strategies in dealing with this. Have a digital presence. Be online and know what is happening within the space. Because fake news, unfortunately, is never going anywhere. Yes. So
since it's never going anywhere, let's look at the bigger picture. How do we identify fake news? Now, you see this one. Someone who works at Ghana Web, who I suppose is a journalist, saw this story, took it, reproduced it on their website without cross-checking. How do you, for example, for this person who works at Ghana Web that saw it, how would they have known that this is fake news?
Okay, so with regards to how they would have known it's fake news, I think it helps to verify. First and foremost, we always say the statement that if something is too good to be true, it awfully is. It applies also to information in the sense that information that doesn't happen often when it happens and it's strange, it's something that you need to put a question mark on, at least till you verify. Because Kojo Antwi has said that. And I don't expect Kojo Antwi to be talking about Bitcoin. But here is Kojo Antwi talking about Bitcoin. That means it's strange. We need to verify the story. So how do they verify it? Well, there are several technical things you can do right now, but I can recommend a website, at least to the media stations.
Okay,
right?
please do.
It's scamdoc.com.
Scamdoc, as in SCAMDOC.com.
Good. I would
Scamdoc.com.
Yes.
Scamdoc.com. It's very funny, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that they are the holy grail or the perfect solution to this, but what they do is that they verify the identities of websites, right, and domains that exist there in terms of the level of trust. So they have some categories or some things they used to measure. Maybe one category may be that the website, how long was it created? Because, for example,
so here is scamdoc.com. What do you do?
So at Scamdoc, I think you see a part where you go to the center of the page, right?
The center of the page, yeah.
There's a part where you can type a website name.
Okay, there. So you can copy a link.
Yes, you can put the domain, the website name. So you can put my job online there and then search.
Okay.
They will give you a trust value, okay, based on certain things that they measure. Maybe people's involvement, interaction with the site, how popular it is, and several things. Even the website, when it was registered. Okay. Because you find that these people who were doing the scam, you check their website, all the things they were recommending you to, and the sites were registered just 6 months ago. Okay. Usually when you see these kind of things, it tells you that someone is trying to do some kind of criminal activity and exit as soon as possible. So they will take all these factors and give a rating. And based on the rating, I think it can give you some level of trust on how much you can really, verify some, like, trust this particular source you are putting.
A few analytics for you to have an idea what you're dealing with.
In a case whereby you are dealing with known figures, it's a matter of picking up a phone and calling and finding out some of these things, especially when you need to verify a story. Yes,
that's true. Well, so we're trying to check on analysis of myjoyonline.com.
Yes, so you see, it ranks 40%. Now, the ranking that you see here, that's what I'm saying, that this is not like the full, should I say, it's a full trusted system, because they are using some system to calculate. Yeah. But they are looking at, then you see the part in green. Yeah. That tells you some of the things that make the website more trustworthy. Okay. Okay. If you are seeing ratings less than 10% or 5% for any website, then that site, I wouldn't say they are bad. I would just say that deal with them with caution. With caution. Okay. So any of the websites that were involved in this scam, if you put them there, all of them should score a 1%. They should score a 1%. Yes. We can try that and see how it goes. But on social media, people are sharing it. I saw several people shared it. Several people wrote to me asking me. Yes. Some people actually say they want to, invest. Some people say they wanted to find out if it's true. How do you stop the spread? And sometimes you see them on Facebook, for example, on sponsored pages. What do you do? I'll click and report to Facebook. Yes. But what else can I do? Unfortunately, after you report to Facebook and you wait for them to take down somebody, because Facebook has said they want to take fake news very seriously. Yeah. I think the best you can do is try to inform the groups that you are in, okay, about what you just did. Okay, this is a story that is going around. It is fake, and I have flagged it as a report on Facebook. It helps when people aggregate the report. So multiple people are reporting. It makes Facebook take it seriously, and then they act on it faster. So then with your followers, you inform them about the same thing. They do the same process. They block or they report to them, and then it's likely to be taken off the propagation space on Facebook. Okay. All right. So the more people report, the more likely it is to be taken down by Facebook completely. All right. But just one quick thing that still amuses me. How are they able to create a particular website, use it for this fraudulent activity, close it down after they realize that they've been found out, and create another website, and then create another website with the same story and keep sharing? So when it comes to creating a website, at least the basics is that you have to register the website's name, which is usually called a domain. If there's myjoyonline.com, that is your domain. That is where you can find your website. If I want to create a scam, I will go and register a name, and I'll try different names that sound like yours. The rules state that as far as that name is not registered by anyone, I can take it. And I can take it for a period. So if I plan on spreading false information, which I suspect we should see more of, heading into the election year, yes, you see websites springing up with all sorts of Ghana names. GhanaIndependentThinker.com. So many of those things. They will register for a short period, and then they are going to use it for some of these things. And then once you've registered the domain, then it's about putting a website's content there. What do you put there? You can create your own content, or if you are trying to mimic a legitimate source, then you only go to their website, see how they've designed theirs, and try and mimic the same thing, hoping that users will not have time to verify the name of your website. They'll just see, oh, this looks like Joy FM, Joy TV, this looks like, and then go with it.
Yeah. Did it surprise you that something like this, as ridiculous as it sounded to me the first time I saw it, people will actually take it seriously and actually believe that it's possible?
It didn't surprise me a little bit. It didn't, because we've been taught before the internet and computers that seeing is believing, right?
Yeah.
But the digital space has changed that rule. Seeing is not believing. People can fake anything so easily, especially in the digital space. So, but people still have the traditional mindset. So the moment they see, it looks like Joy, it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it is a duck. So that's the rationalization.
Right. Well, as a cyber analyst, I'm really grateful that you've been able to take us through this thing. If you have any final words, maybe some words for our viewers, you can go ahead with that.
Okay, so at the end of the day, I think what I will say is basically iterating on what I've said to this point. At the end of the day, you can't really trust information just as face value. You can't trust, at least to some certain of degree, from some sources that you trust. But for some news items that seem a bit out of the blue, that doesn't, especially the person saying it's not what they typically say. I think it calls for verification, and it doesn't harm to go and then Google or ask for other users what they think about it in regards to these things. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for sharing that with us. Well, I hope that you will not be scammed. Please do not send me any message asking to join any Bitcoin program. I am not doing Bitcoin. It is a scam. If you go on the website and you put in your money or you put in your details, they are stealing your details and they're going to steal your money eventually if you do put any money there at all. I've been doing this with Joseph Quay. He's a cyber analyst, helping us to understand how these scammers work to steal your details and to steal your money.